Everybody to 48 Talk episode 151.
Whoa, all the original Pokemon, yeah, baby.
Hey.
Oh, I gotta catch him, man.
Oh, it's
Gotta
the
catch him.
OGs. Okay, well, I am your host, Rage. Well, as always, joining me this time, it's the usual crew of DX Sucking on the right, Colin Yells on the bottom right, and welcome back Derek from his tour.
Yo.
What's up?
Patch, 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 patch.
I'm back. Patch.
Very
Patch,
good.
patch.
Very good, you're back indeed. So, how was it?
Well, let's just put it this way. Europe was amazing. It was an absolute success. Necroma crushed it. I met so many amazing and beautiful and wonderful people in Europe. I did not know Europe was filled with that many kind souls. I've never really paid attention to Europe. My sights and attention has always been to Asia. Japan in particular, my whole life. Went to Netherlands a couple years ago because of this crazy podcast that I'm part of, and somebody asked me to go, so I did. Thanks, Robin. And then I started thinking maybe Europe's not so bad. And then just showing up in Rotterdam even this time and seeing DX waiting outside on the bench, and Mette was there, and it's like, oh my God, like Europe is amazing. So it was absolutely incredible. There was a lot of hiccups. There's a lot of things going on. I am going to be doing a vlog, I think, just kind of going over things. I got a lot of questions from people. And so I thought, well, I got a camera now, and I used it the entire tour and got really familiar with it. So I think I might do like a little mini vlog answering questions. I don't want to take up time here, but I will say this. I sorely missed you guys. I missed having a routine. It's so nice to be able to sleep in my own bed and not on a couch or, in sharing a room with Ricky, and just wishing I had my own room. Nothing against him. He's a great roommate. It's just, you want your own space.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think by the end of the tour, we were all ready to come home, but that's not necessarily negative. It's more like we did what we had to do. It was crazy. And, got to thank Gino, which, by the way, happy birthday, Gino. It's his birthday today. I think.
Happy birthday, as this recording, yes.
Me and Gino, we had a point. I will bring this up because it relates. Gino, okay, so Necroma missed their flight in Scotland to Rotterdam, and it was very early in the morning. Ricky made an honest mistake. Anybody could have made it. We were so tired from the night before, because the night before in Scotland, we played a tiny little box in the wall that had no ventilation. There was no windows. The soundproofing in there was special. It was like super insulated. So it was like 100 degrees in there. We couldn't even do the encore because poor Michelle passed out. She was messed up, like bawling backstage. She was so upset. And like, it was just like, we were mentally all over the place. We couldn't get into the place we were supposed to stay that night. They weren't answering their number. We lucked out and were able to finally get there, but we were in a bad spot. Come that next morning, we missed our flight. By some miracle of miracles, one of the ladies at the Inverness airport was managed to find us a flight to Rotterdam, but it was in Glasgow, which is 3 hours away, and it cost like $5,000 or something. It was like some ridiculous number. We didn't know what to do, because it's like we had the money on us, but we didn't have the money to do as far as credit cards. You can't, we had to do this over, and time was running out. Like those tickets could be bought any second. There was only 7 left. Only 7 left.
And you were 7 people.
Yeah.
It was 7 people. Go figure. So we're freaking out. We don't know what to do. I made a phone call. Well, I made a lot of phone calls. And then I made a call to Gino. And Gino's like, yeah, I got you, buddy. No problem. I'm like, so he hooked it up. Then we managed to get a bus driver to get us from Inverness Airport to Glasgow. He turned out he was the slowest driver in recorded history. To be fair, he kept us safe, so that's good. But he literally he was going under the speed limit. And I told him like 10 times, dude, we got to get to Glasgow. We made it. I think there was 20 minutes left. We barely made it. And so we got on the plane, got to Rotterdam, barely made it there. Had some issues there that some people took care of us there. And the moral of the story is Europe is amazing. People in Europe are amazing. And Gino, arigato, otsukaresama deshita. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Hontoni arigatou gozaimasu. Like, Gino saved the whole tour, because we would have had to miss Rotterdam for sure. We would have had to miss probably Germany. We might have had to go home, because the next flight out of Inverness to Rotterdam was 2 days later. And then on top of that, it still would have cost us that much money we didn't have. So it was like, we lucked out. I mean, we scrambled for like 2 hours, but it was like, Gino, if it wasn't for him, man. So 48 talk to the rescue. Seriously.
Well, it's a good thing that it actually happened. So then all the tour would just all the people who were waiting could still enjoy the joy of Necronomidol. So yeah, really thanks Gino from the bottom.
I
of the heart.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't thank you enough. I mean, we played in Finland in Oulu to 200 people. Oulu is at the top of the earth where there's only reindeer and goth kids. And we basically crushed it up there. I did have one fun thing that happened there. There was some really big drunk guy like at the front of the stage, and the stage is like raised up, and he was trying to climb up the wall and touch Ray, and Ricky pulled him down, and then the guy, like, you know, he was still kind of hovering. I was in the back at the merch table. I could see. I saw him get up again. I ran to the stage. I took him by his pants. I pulled him down, and this dude's huge. He could have crushed me. I put my arm around him like this. I held him real tight, and I'm like, "Hey, man, what's up? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Why don't you have some fun tonight? Go back and get a beer." And so he left, and then Ricky was like called security, and then finally got him out of there. He was this close to grabbing Ray, and so it was. I was like, "I'm a hero." It was cool. I felt good. I mean, normally people get freaked out, but I was enjoying it. I was like, "Oh, I get to be a bouncer, sweet." But other than that, we didn't have a single incident on the tour. We had people crying. I mean, I had one girl in Oulu that she was a Michelle Oshie. She had her hair cut like Michelle, and she was like really, she had like the VIP ticket to meet Michelle. She basically was like, "I don't know what to do. I'm scared." I was like, "Just go meet her. Michelle's like the easiest girl to talk to. She's a freak. She's super nice." And they met, and she was like, "Ah," like crying. And then I saw that over and over again on this tour. People were legit crying. Flores with Ray.
Yep.
I love
Oh,
Flores.
man.
Flores was like trembling, and I when he got up to Ray, I'm like, "Ray, like, this is your TO," and she's like, "Oh," it's like, "Arigato," and Flores was like, "Dude, you're the best, thank you so much," and he was just like so overwhelmingly grateful. But I saw them together. It was like pure idol heaven for me to see that. I was like vicariously living through Flores because I know what that feels like, you know, to like meet your Oshi. So it's just like. It was just great. I don't know. I did so many moments like
Heartfelt
that,
moment.
know. This is heartfelt, the whole thing. And then Hyper Japan played like probably 1,000 people. Narcon we played at 500 or 600 the first night, and then I don't think it's made the second day, but the second day was it was a main stage cosplay festival, and we got to play to a bunch of people that weren't there to see us, and we won them over by the end, so that was great. Every single tour's show was great, but not gonna lie. Germany and Rotterdam, those were the shows. It was like 1-2 punch, you know? And Rotterdam was especially special because we didn't think we were going to make it. I mean, you can ask DX. We literally showed up, what, like an hour like before we had
something
even...
like that, yeah. I was like, whoa.
It was crazy.
And then I knew the backstory. It's like, whoa, what a miracle has happened, man. Jeez.
And then more miracles, too, because, you know what else happened, and if it wasn't for 2 people there, like, helping us, we would have been even in more trouble. So it's just... I don't know. Just Europe is awesome. Can't wait to go back in that regard. Necroma is loved in Europe. I think Necroma belongs in Europe. Europe really, like, it vibes well. But honestly, like, it was just, you know, it was tour. I mean, I was ready to come home, you know, for sure. I'm happy to be home. I'm busy now. Like, I was just working on Idol Underworld stuff today, you know, so it's like, I'm happy to be back in the routine. I think we're all going to be happy once we get back in the routine. Plus, going to get started on my Idol doc, so there's that, too. So I'm pretty pumped about that. So... It was
Awesome.
good. Thanks for asking.
Awesome.
That's very good to hear, though. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll get to see them soon. And then next time I can join then the event. That will be great.
So, you were sorely missed.
Did you have any luck with the weather? Because I think for the past like few weeks it's been going up and downhill here, and we had some very hot days. There was this one hot day. It was so hot that actually my girlfriend was like, "I need this right now," and she was just using this, and that's actually
to the rescue.
And that's actually very rare for her to be like, "Okay, just give me that. I just need this one." So she was very happy to have that.
It was actually that hot. All the freezers in my local supermarket went busted pretty much. So it's like,
oh.
Yeah,
the Utuas, man.
We broke a Netherlands record with like 41 degrees Celsius. So that's
wow,
rare
that's
in there.
hot.
Yeah, that's like
unbelievable.
Above 100 degrees, I would say, in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Weather-wise, it was interesting. We brought the rain every show, but it only rained when we were playing. Weirdly enough, we weren't like I had to drive several times over in Europe and never had a bad day of driving. So that was good. We had the very last thing we did on the tour. We went to Cactus Castle. I think it's like Bratislava, Czechoslovakia or something, where Elizabeth Bathory's castle was. You know, she killed all those people, and we did a photo shoot there. And right when we got to the top of the mountain when the castle started raining. So we were like, oh, our luck has ended. But it stopped as soon as it was done. So it just rained a little bit. And it actually gave us a really nice overcast look to some of our shots. And then the rest of the day was like, it was beautiful. So except for that, I mean, weather was amazing on this tour. I mean, it was hot. I mean, there were a couple times I got sunburned in Narcon pretty good. I think I'm still kind of red, but it's you know, it was fine. Like it was good. You know, no complaints.
Very good then. Yeah, well, Colin, you've been missing for a week since we missed last week. How was your vacation?
Yeah, how was it?
I mean, you guys are talking about weather. I was in France. It was like way hotter than that. There was no rain whatsoever for a week. But that was fun, you know, vacation. It's all right. A week out. It was fine. It was more so for the rest of my family than anything else. But because they need it more than I do, I don't really need it. But that's, you know, everyone is different. And actually, I have some interesting news. Remember a few weeks ago that I talked about my eldest niece being pregnant?
Yeah.
I also said that I hoped it would be a girl.
Yeah.
Got right.
Yeah, congrats.
Oh, hey, congrats.
Awesome.
So good for her, because we wanted my side of the family. Well, it's technically okay. So basically, my mom, my sister, and I were like, it's gonna be a girl, because she already has a boy. So it's like
One of
it's gonna
each.
be a girl. One of each, exactly. That's she never said that she wanted, but I know she wanted. Because she is exactly like my mother, and my mom is like that too. So yeah, we got that news. It's great, and yeah, vacation was nice. It was nice.
So
I'm happy I'm back.
yeah, but there was one announcement I think during that week you didn't like, and you probably want to talk about that now.
Probably the worst graduation this year. One in some time where I'm like, oh, this one I really didn't like, and it's SKE's Goto Rara having announced graduation.
Yeah, what was that?
So basically, she wants to focus on university and school and such, which I totally get. You know, she passed, she got in. I think maybe we talked about that. I can't kind of remember.
Yes, we did.
But she got in, so now she wants to focus on that, which I cannot fault her for. So I'm very happy that she does. But it sucks a bit, only in the bigger picture when, you know, Kitagario is gone. Well, not yet, but she announced it, and Obata Yuna announced it, and it's like frustration sucks. It's like, no,
Sales been going great though.
Yeah, oddly enough.
Good for DX said it right. Yeah, no, well, yeah, it's good that the sales are good, but you know, sucks. That's a song, but you know, handshake tickets and whatnot. But yeah, it's I'm very sad that she is going to graduate. I want to say September. I've got, but
Right before school.
Yeah, just
it is. It's probably my least favorite graduation so far this year, and in a while I would.
It's been
say.
a lot this year.
Yeah.
And we say
most
this every year, but it's really been a lot.
It's true. Someone's I should say kept track, you know, from each year, and this is the most I want to say in total. I don't know the exact numbers because I kind of glanced at it, but yeah, it's
we're only halfway there. So
Pretty much.
well 8 months now, so it's
8 months,
a bit more, but yeah, it sucks. That's true. That's true, and it sucks. I mean, I don't think that this is the last quote unquote big graduation.
No, not by far.
I say big because I do think that, well, with Obata and Kitagario gone, I felt that maybe with Gotorao being back from hiatus since last year, I thought, you know, maybe something good, you know, in the A side, but it's not going to happen, sadly. So that's a pretty bummer, I would say.
Yeah.
And SK was very promising, you know, with Keyholder and such, but it's I'm not very happy with it.
I think you can still follow her on media, so that will still be open.
Oh, that's of course, you know, that's of course the case.
And I've got to say, and I'm gonna segue into something new as well, because lately, when they're doing their own projects, they're more in the picture, and I actually can follow them more than they were actually doing activities for, SK or AKB and stuff like that. So, first off, the big one that I want to talk about was Yamaguchi Maho is now fully back online, doing a fan club, and biggest announcement that there was, she's doing a photo book. And over on the slope side, Josh Box already pre-ordered the photo book that's coming out.
Oh, he's not the only one. He's not the only one.
Yeah, you did as well.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I was thinking like I don't really. It's not that I don't have the money for it. It's just I just feel like because I'm working with idols, it's not something I really necessarily want to do. I want to make them like I am now with like Kamari's photo book. But the thing is, it's like that's my girl.
Yeah.
And like I saw the preview pictures and I was like, oh my god, Mahohon, you were like she's grown up. Like she don't even look the same. Like
I feel so
brain blown.
relieved just seeing.
Yep.
Me too.
You know,
those pictures.
we started the year talking about this whole situation and just how ridiculous it was, and now everything just seems like okay, she's gonna be fine. You know, this photo book is going to really help the sales, I would say. And then you see the other side, the ban has been lifted for the NGT48 group now being on social media again. They had a performance, and it was unbelievably sad seeing that, because there's like they had this festival in Niigata called
Tokyo Idol Festival. Yeah.
No, they were
Yeah.
at Tokyo Idol Festival.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that
It
one.
was a Tokyo Idol Festival.
Yeah, it said something with like 4,000, the 4,000 stage or something like that.
I don't know the names of the stage.
Well, they showed previous like the area of that where the stage was like filled with people, with fans when this group was here and this group was there, and then you had NGT48 and you just see some couple fans just putting head down in shame and being like, so, I don't know why this group is still active. I really don't. I saw Nakai Rika. She has now very short hair and looks very different on what sides. And I'm like, just do your own thing. Go do your TV shows, and you'll be fine. So these are all examples. Like it's much better to go solo than actually being active in this group. It's like for another one, we have Kodama Harupi. She's now also like fully on social media again.
Oh, yeah.
A lot thanks to Colin pointing it out, because apparently I wasn't following her on Instagram, so follow that.
Oh,
And-
I hate you, but yeah, continue.
No, I follow on Twitter, so I was very happy on that. But I didn't know Instagram.
Not
She was
kidding.
also active, and she's been replying to a lot of international fans, and
Yep.
she was talking about her weight loss and what she did, and being also very active with her TV shows and the dramas that she's doing that. So
Play.
it's it's just like she's now back in full force, and you can follow her more than she ever was in HKT48. Funnily enough.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And then I have one more, and then we can all just share our
Well-
thoughts on that. Go ahead, Derek.
Okay. Oh no, do you want me to wait until
Yeah,
you're done to talk about Maho?
I'm just throwing it out there, and then we can talk about all of them, because there's
okay,
one
gotcha,
more,
gotcha.
and that's
Sure.
a bigger one we can talk about, and that's Takahashi Juri now also more in the shine because of the debut that's coming as of the recording tomorrow. Is her K-pop group Rocket Punch, and I don't know the other members yet because they're from Woolham Entertainment, so I haven't followed them, but just being active outside that group that you were has done more results than you being in that group as ever was. So what do you think about that subject?
To be quite honest, it seems like the 48 group is no longer the highest stage you can reach as an artist.
Yeah, the end all to be all or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Right?
That's something like that. Yeah. So you've got so many alternatives right now. Go into K-pop, do your own thing, go to a different agency. If I ever compare it to, for example, pro wrestling and such, WWE is no longer the highest the level you can get. Now you've got AEW and JPW. So many alternatives right now. So
Yeah,
It's
there's
great.
there's a shift in change coming. You don't have to be a monopoly to be successful, actually.
exactly, yeah.
Yes, Colin.
I have some very odd thoughts, and I want to go before Derek because I want to know what he says based on what I say.
Mhm.
I've never seen it, the 48 group as an end. It's more like an internship. They just do this as a means to do something else. You know, do
Mhm.
modeling,
Mm.
acting, TV, play, whatever, or another solo career, or you know whatever they can throw it as YouTube, it's YouTube channel. And it's more like that. It's more of an internship in the thing that you get to learn some stuff, you know, based on the entertainment industry, and then when at a point you think you can continue in that work, or you know you can go to school, you do that. It's more of a means to something else than it is as an end. So I find it. I see where you're coming from, but I've always seen it as it's not. It's just a thing. It's like
I
a
do
summer
agree with
work.
that, but compared to what it was actually more the stepping stone, like a high school of going into entertainment business, and it was, oh, you're the prominent school, you know, being in there, you'll learn everything you need, and nowadays it really is like, you know, you don't need to go there. It's like you can, but you learn more on your own or more versatile on other situations. You don't need that stepping stone of AKB48's name
Oh yeah, but
wise.
I agree. I think that's been going on for a long time now. I don't think
A few
I would
years,
say,
yeah. I would say after
a few
you
years.
go.
So it's I would say 2013, 14, 13, 13.
Yeah, after you go, then it
Yeah.
was like you
So-
don't actually need that.
You know, which is like what 5-6 years. So it's not anymore per se. We've all talked about it. You know, golden era. It's not the golden era anymore. It's just
Clearly.
another era.
Yeah.
So they just it's maybe they didn't start out that way, but when it was in the golden era, yeah, it was pretty much one of the biggest things. I do still feel that it was just a means to do something else, but it was at their peak, which they are not anymore. But you know, it's they will keep on going. You know, at Morning Musume went on, is still going. Hello Project, that is, they're doing actually pretty good from what I hear. And I actually, and Nogizaka, I was like thinking the 46 world as well, because they are more at their peak now. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
true.
a bit less. That depends on who you're talking about. But it's just, you know, it's moving on. There's still girls that want to be in the 48 group. There's girls that feel, you know what, I go to Hello Project because I think there's more there. Or, you know, the 46 size because, whoa. So it's a stepping stone, but you know, I think that's good because that also ties in with a little bit that I saw on or heard about Hillary talking about the money she made during AKB, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but we're talking about a member that was never in the Senbatsu, only one, but that was Junkin, so that ish count.
Yeah.
And still had a salary that, depending on where she lived and what she did, that was reasonable-ish. At least that was the impression that I got. So, and then compare it to someone who's like a Nachan, a Mion, Yukurin, who's or you know, whoever in that same bracket. That's like getting a lot of money and what they're doing now. So when staying in that would be pretty good. But you know, the lower members, in that sense, they would probably be better off doing something else because it maybe pay more or it gets more freedom. Because if they have a good agency, obviously. But I feel that they're all pretty reasonable.
It's very sustainable.
Interesting.
I hope that will be longer sustainable than we're talking about. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Derek.
That was good. That was a nice little injection there for the AKB song. I'm happy with. No, Colin, what great comment you just made. Let me add to that a little bit. Actually, I don't disagree. I think, but let me bring up one person. Do you remember Shawako?
Oh, sorry, you cut out.
Yeah.
Do you remember Shawako from
Sawako,
SK48?
yeah, Sawako.
No.
She was the girl that was like, she's like, talk like this, but then she was like, talk about
Yeah. Now I remember.
Oh yeah. Attack on Titan stuff.
She had no question at all about, and no qualms about telling people she wasn't in this for keeps. She wanted to be a Seiyu you know.
Voice actor.
The reason I bring her up is because there's girls that go into AKB48 system and they have a clear goal in mind where they want to go, and it's okay. And they learn the basics of entertainment, of how to be an idol, how to present yourself to the public. They learn all that in AKB. It's a good place to do that in that regard. At least it was. Now I don't really know. But AKB started back in a time when we didn't have what we have today, where literally on one click of your phone you'd be watching a 4K Ultra HD movie. You can do this, what we're doing now. I mean, it's like it was there, but it was developing. Facebook hadn't run rampant like it did, and of course in Japan it's everybody uses Twitter, so it's like those things were really just starting to be what they are today. So in other words, you have this sense of immediacy that you as an individual can reach out to anybody you want at any time and put out anything you want at any time. Now, the problem that these girls get in is they want to get into a big system like AKB. It's a good thing on the resume, even if they don't say that they're just there for the resume. But they get stuck in the system because they realize, hey, I want to go do something else. Oh, wait, I'm in this contract. I can't just get on SNS and be like, hey, I'm making a photo book with my best friend who's a photographer, and we're going to sell that stuff, and you're going to buy it. They can't do that. So it's like the wheels start turning. They're thinking, I need to get out of here because I could probably make a lot more money because I don't want to be like Hillary and make, 10 steps down what Yuko Oshima makes. But the thing is, that's idle. That's also idle. Like you have to go into idle as a girl going into this. You have to go in with a very clear understanding of what you're getting into. Unfortunately, I think some of these girls have no idea what they're getting into. They just, AKB, I want to join. They don't really think it through. The contracts are very tight. And I think on a major level, they're probably so nitpicky about stuff. That's why we haven't had any like tell-alls. If you think about it, like we've had some kind of, but not real tell-alls. Not like the kind that like gives us all the dirt, because they probably have an NDA clause that would, they'd put them in jail. if they broke it.
We can ruin you if you say anything.
Yeah, it's a ruin you NDA clause. So it's like, if you think about it, you're a young girl in most cases, and you're joining this big, massive Goliath corporation. You have all this ability to reach out to fans, but you have to do it exactly how you're told. Yeah, you're probably going to start feeling those chains on you. And some girls do well, the ones that works for you, and you get really huge within the system. Yeah, you're going to stay, because why not? You're getting paid. And you can put off acting and all that later, because you might not even want to be an actor. Maybe you just want to get paid. Or maybe you genuinely want to just be an AKB. There's a couple girls like that. So I think you have to take all that in consideration when we're talking about this, and we're looking at Takahashi Juri's situation. It was very sad that she left, but Juri was always an oddball, and she like many other girls saw the writing on the wall. She was never going to be the top girl, never. She knew that. So it's like, wait a minute, I have this interest from Korea, and Korea likes me. Unfortunately, what I saw with Rocket Punch, I think she joined a very generic group. I don't think any of the songs sound that great. I think somebody wrote those in their sleep. I think she got a really bad end of the deal, to be honest. The other girls in the group, I don't know, they look okay, I guess. I don't know if she knows them, how well they are. I'm assuming they have a good relationship already. But think about how fast Juri has gone from interest to this, like a year ago, 2 years ago, to in a group. Okay, Blackpink didn't even debut until they were 6 years training. So think about it. Somebody's marketing wheels went off there. So this might look like she's going off on her own, but my thinking tells me this is just marketing by the bigwigs saying, hey, Jerry, come on over here. The Koreans like you. For now, we'll create this little cookie cutter group for you and put you in it so you can be a star. And we're going to make some money off you, and then you're going to get dumped in about a year, and no one's going to care about you. Unless you guys happen to come up with like a halfway decent single, which from just what I heard, I didn't hear no Insta classes. I didn't hear anything. I heard cookie cutter. Again, not knocking them. I mean, it's still good. It's just cookie cutter. And I think when we hear more, that's going to come out. Now, what does that mean for Juri? I don't know. I think she made a choice that she felt was good for her. I applaud her for that. I think it's great when you have the courage and the bravery to step out and do something for yourself. It's not always going to work the way you want it to, but she did what she thought was, I guess, in her best interest. I'm hearing more somebody whispering in her ears telling her it, and I see her seeing what happened at, Eyes One and thinking, well, I missed out on that train. Let me get on the next one, because she's trying to capitalize. To be honest, I thought like Miho would have done it, but we know why she did. But she's been still older, all that other stuff. But the thing is, it's like Juri may survive, depending, I guess, on how kind the Korean fans are to her, and how much they can tolerate like drivel music just because she's in it. I don't know, but I'd say overall, getting back to AKB. This system is going to be what it is. It's a grind. It's a meat grinder. And you take what you can from it. A lot of those girls are going into it with that attitude. And I also think that's another reason why we have the AKB we have today. We don't got the same passion as we did in the Golden Gem, because those girls fought tooth and nail
Yeah.
and went many shows with nobody giving a crap about them to build AKB. These girls have it easy now. They go in, it's already built for them. But they're also going in kind of, I think, with selfish hearts in a lot of ways for what you just said. And that's where I sort of begin to question how much it's really going to help them or not. Does that all make sense to you guys?
Yeah. I would say it's also with the Golden Gen. It's like you had like lightning in a bottle with all these different characters. Just for
You did.
example, recently Maida Atsuko came out with like a photo shoot, like 2 pictures they were shown.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
it was
Woohoo!
like everybody was like, "Oh my God, I forgot how she actually
Awesome,
was."
yeah,
Yes, how
yeah.
you know.
Awesome she was.
And just a reminder, this woman is a mother right now. You know?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Report a while ago. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So I like Colin's reactions, like going like "pretty woman." So just seeing that alone, and just I'm reminding myself with the social media when I see all these golden gen basically going through this through the motions of what they're doing in their daily lives, and it's uncomparable to what AKB is now. And that's for me to say, I really like Okada Nana, and even her is uncomparable to what the strong like Oshima Yuko does, or even Miyazawa Sai doing now with her musical with like the Peter Pan
Yeah.
Yeah.
musical stuff like that.
Good.
Uncomparable.
Uncomparable. And the good thing about old school gen AKB was they had layers of stars. They didn't just
Oh,
have
yeah.
one.
No.
The B team, the C, the D girls were
Yep.
they were all ridiculous.
Yeah.
All of them. Everyone, but then again, what did they have that the girls today don't have really? They had a lot of support in the view of, I mean, you had how many programs to shine?
Oh,
You
yeah,
had
exactly.
how many songwriters writing hit after hit after hit? I mean, if you stood out and did something on AK Bingo, you could turn into a song like with Sayakon. Ooh ho ho. So it's
Yep.
like, you know what I mean? Like it was like the doors were open. It was like Idol, da-da. And it was like, thank you, Morning Musume, for opening it for us. We're going to take it over now. Thank you very much. And they did. And it was just like, they crushed it. But they had a lot of support there, too, because somebody didn't give up on them. AKP could have closed that door a long time ago. I mean, think about it. Think about right before they got on that stage that first time in December. And think about how many of those girls quit before they got on that stage. You know how many times Tomachin went in that office, like, I'm done. And AKP had to talk her back in and been like, yo, you got something. You stay, girl. And, you're going to be the next Nami Amuro. I promise you. You're going to do it. You're going to do what you need to do. You're going to have some form of what you want. But you got to trust me. And they did. And all that worked together for the perfect storm. But now you're coming into a system that's already done, has all these songs that basically the only time you're probably going to get fans, I think, super excited when you're playing the old songs. You're going to have new girls every once in a while. The new girls are going to come up, and we are going to pay attention. They are going to stand out. But now look at what we're looking at now. We're looking at the sister groups now. And what are they doing? They're playing old songs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the difference is they got interesting girls. They're a lot of these groups I'm seeing more and more, they got personalities. That some of them are really, they're kind of starting to stand out more. And that says a lot. Not all of them, we'll get to that, but some of them. And then we look at the AKB now. Again, I think it's selfishness here. I think it's like they're all probably thinking, what can I do next? I honestly, Robin, I think Yoroshi is probably one of the only ones that I don't feel that from. I feel like she genuinely bleeds AKB. I really think that.
Her only thought right now is like, maybe I'm thinking about getting married soon. That's her feeling right now.
To what girl?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you call that? Monogamous? Monogamous marriage? Or is like
polygamy.
Polygamy, yeah.
Polyamorous. Or polygamy. She's going to be like the female polygamist. No, but like her, and I would say like, maybe Jirina to some degree. Mion, of course, Mion, of course. We saw that personally with that one AKB Bingo episode. I'd say there are members that genuinely bleed AKB, but I don't think there's enough members that do.
Yeah.
No,
That's
exactly.
the issue.
They had characters and opportunity back then, and now they don't have that in spades anymore. They have that little.
Think about it.
And that's a whole other discussion we can probably throw into when we talk about that. But they're pushing too much, like all the energy into one person. It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
one is like
Right.
now the hot market. Let's just focus all the intention in that. What about the rest? No,
Yeah.
just keep them over there. It's like, this is the one we need to focus on. It's like, no, we need to
Yeah.
focus on like a lot of them, so
Exactly.
it will
Mhm.
work as a group, not as a solo
Mhm.
artist. That's the
It's
There
been
you
going
go.
on for a very long time. I said that in my very first episode. I like to
Mhm.
bring that up because it's like, yeah, it's there are no good set of characters. You have a very poor hand with only no diversity, and when I say diversity, I mean in a range of characters you have available, as in pillars. You know,
Mm.
now it's not really there because
Too much.
I don't have that.
Bad management, I would say.
Yeah.
Before we then move on to basically the main topic of this episode, Derek, you still want to mention more on the photo book of Yamaguchi Maho, I believe.
Oh yeah. I just simply wanted to say, and kind of echoing what you said. I just think it's great that Mahohon is now where she's at, and I think that this photo book is a very joyful and pride statement for her to make. I think at this moment because it shows she has overcome all this terrible adversity this year and putting out something that's very bold. And you saw the photos. I mean, clearly she is really putting it out there. I give her all the credit and respect in the world for that. And also, she looks very much more mature and grown up. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that this process has been good in that sense for her to grow up, but I'm saying, like, I sense something different. I met her. I looked her in the eyes twice. I met her twice. And she's not that girl anymore, you know? And
No,
she's
same,
definitely somebody
same, yeah.
different.
I
You
think
know what I'm
she's
saying?
very
One time.
relieved, yeah.
I've seen her one time, and she is really different for my feelings.
She's really different.
Yeah.
So I feel in that sense, I almost want to get the photo book, not for any like lascivious, I want to check her out because she's half naked in it. I really want to support her because I think like I really
Smile.
like this girl.
Yeah.
Her smile's the best. I
Her
want to
smile,
see this girl
yes.
smile because that's idol to me. And even though I'm staff, there's still part of me that's very much a fan and very much like loves to support the idea.
She asked
So-
it on Twitter, actually. It's like, what would you like to see in this photo book? And basically,
Her
I,
smiling.
I just replied, I just want to see you smile and maybe some gala dresses. Who knows? Just like those evening gowns, stuff like that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Mhm.
No, but I'm very happy. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm still looking forward because she opened a fan club now. That she will be doing showroom again, but without any restrictions on AKS side. It will be just her doing showroom, or who knows, something more be approachable. I really like what she's doing, but more like the approachable she was during the showroom era, basically. Currently, I can't go on showroom anymore because I have a company that says you're not allowed to, have any other international apps on it. So no, it says it's
Sucks for
region
you.
blocked. Yeah, pretty much.
Let's hope that she controls her own destiny as it should be. So good for her. Really proud of her. So
Exactly. Okay. Let's then go into the big moment, and let's remember that mark, because we need to mark it for all the people who are like, "Come on, I just want to hear you about the MV," because I was actually I was a little bit felt guilty because there was, I think, this one fan of her show was on Twitter, I believe, it's like, "Oh, I can't wait till they talk about the MV," and it's like,
Oh yeah.
probably not a good week to go on a hiatus. So thank you for waiting. Then here we go then. AKB48's 56th single, Sustainable. They performed it. We watched it. We watched it right before the show. And I will go first. I am actually not hating this song.
yay! That's good.
And
That's good. That's
for
good.
me to say that, that's actually, it's been a long time,
That's
I
good.
believe. It's
Yeah.
really, really good. I really, really like it because it's the old school feeling, and they're like very jumpy and exciting. They have lots of movements in there. So this was we didn't see the EMV yet. This was the live performance. I forgot where it was, but the thing is,
FNS, I think.
the FNS, thank you. The outfits are just, visibly like very professional looking, not over the top. Just, actually a group performing in a nice atmosphere, I would say. And the girls group, I really like the Senbatsu. I've been telling that when they announced it, and people were like, they're playing it safe. I think there's a reason they did this, because if you look at all of them, and I'm even saying Komiyama Haruka being in there instead of Yokoyama Yui, to be honest, if Yokoyamu said, I'm gonna graduate, it will still be devastating. But it would be like the group is still in good hands. That was my feeling when I saw this group. And then you had Yukarin also jumping in there at time. But there were so many moments, there's one of my favorite moments with Murayama Yuri and Okanana just having that together moment.
Yeah.
And there's some moments in there. There was like that everyday Katyusha moment when they're all line up and they're just approachable and just all smiling in there. It's like I love that. That's exactly what I was been missing. And the song is, it gets into my head. And like that's something that really just gives me joy on that. And again, the center Yagi Moika. It's not like too much standing out center. Even though I just mentioned like they're pushing too much in this performance, I saw it was like, yeah, she's the center, but have you seen the rest? The rest looks amazing, and like there's Julia now with her short hair, and you have Mutatomu actually just doing all this stuff, combining in there. I really miss this, and this is something we needed from AKB48. I know it's safe. It's not something they should be inventing, to go into the future. If you do this again, it will be like, okay, well, you did this last time. But this is something that's like, finally, something good to talk about on the AKB48 side. So those were my opinions. Who wants to go next?
Good.
I'm going. The single, it felt safe, but for once, I'm not complaining about it being safe, because being safe means it works, and the singles, it actually works, because I quite like it. I enjoy it, especially if you compare it to the last single they put out. It's like, well, the drag. But even though they might be playing it safe, but maybe they needed to play it safe for this time, because they had a lot of lag and they were on a lot of pressure. And what better way to counter it than going back to the formula that works? And this single works. I like it. I'm really curious about the coupling songs, but they will be revealed at a later date. The main single, I give it, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So yeah, it's pass. It's a good pass for me.
That's good. That's good.
Colin?
Go ahead, Colin.
I think it's okay. I really have given it thought, and I actually wanted to say that I don't hate it, but when I say it, it's in a different context than what Robin is saying it. I really thought about it. I took it in, and I agree that it's safe, and I have no problem with that. I don't feel there's too much to it for me to enjoy. What Robin says about the everyday Katyusha line, I like that moment, and that one moment, I do remember that, but that's the only thing. I love the dresses, great. I think it's the worst thing I can say about it but I don't really mean it, is that I don't feel that this was worth the wait. But it's okay. But I've been on vacation now for a week, but that doesn't mean that I didn't do anything AKB related. But I did not really think about this song. I only thought about it once, and that was when it got performed on the national tour, and people were saying, Murayama Yuri should have been the center all along. And then I was thinking, oh yeah, this song. It's okay. I'm happy that many people are positive about it. For my own taste, I don't really. I think it's okay, but there's nothing too much to it. I like the same things, but Robin says, I think it's fine for what it is, but not quite. It should have had a better hook, in my opinion. Just a bit more catchiness to it. Maybe a bit more upbeat. Just a little extra something across it, and I would have liked it more. Not actually spice,
a little salt and
something
pepper.
else.
A little salt and pepper, just for
a
taste.
little bit extra.
Gotcha.
Just that one thing where it's like, yeah.
Actually, I do agree with that though. Like if we waited compared to think how long we waited, then it's like, that's it.
Yeah,
no, it's a minor nitpick, but it's
I do want to say
valid.
that I won't hold that against the song, because I feel that's unfair towards the song and the entire thing. So I don't hold it against it. That's the worst thing I could say about it, but I don't really mean it. It's not the song's fault, obviously. It's fine. I look forward to the B-sides. Maybe it's something good. It's okay. It's okay. But I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's like in the middle, but I have
It's likable.
It's light. It's light, I would say. It's I likable in the sense that I don't hate it.
If you would suddenly
fine.
hear it on a radio or something, you'd be like, oh yeah, that feeling.
I know why you would say it. I would agree by your account, but not the way that I would, if that makes sense.
Would you turn it off? You would hear it, like, oh, change channel or something.
Probably.
Woo.
I'd be like, let's see, let's see what's on the next one. Maybe that's something, If I'm really bored, I'm like, I want something, in that sense.
Derek.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it either. I mean, it's not my favorite song or anything. It's not in terms of like creativity. There's nothing that's like super stands out, but they did something right for a change. They got the chorus correct. It's very nostalgic. I swear I couldn't think of the exact song, but it definitely has echoes of an old classic by AKB, and I think that's not a bad thing. I mean, if you're without creativity's sake and you want to still kind of write a song for AKB, the worst you can do is write something that's just completely horrible and hurts the ears. But if you want to play it safe, go for something nostalgic. And they did. They played it safe. It's a very sustainable thing. Sorry, low-hanging fruit. But it's but I would say like the part I like is kind of in the middle of that chorus. They really sounded like old school AKB. Like if I had closed my eyes, I'd have been like, Golden Gen. Like they invoked it. They did a good job. And also it helps that Karen was there doing her thing. Go ahead, Robin.
You mean the middle part, right? When before they go to the final part of the chorus?
Yeah.
Like da 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 da.
Yeah,
that's
it's just good.
That feeling, yeah, that's like the, and then you go
super nostalgic.
With the effect when they go into the long tone. Da 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 da. That's like those are things that I'll be like, yes, that's part of missing.
That's AKB. If I was at a concert and they played it, I'd be like, yes, like this is good. Like I'm down with this new song because it really invokes that old spirit. And also you have Karen, who is very much part of that old guard in there. So you even get her, and it's like you get her. Natchan crushed it. Mion crushed it. I mean, they're just doing their jobs. There's a couple girls in that performance to watch. I have no clue who they are, but they were good. Nako looked amazing in that performance. Oof.
That one STU girl you're looking for.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
I forgot the name
as
well.
Like,
Ishida
yeah,
Chiho
it's
or...
not terrible.
Yeah, that's the name.
Ishida
Which
Chiho.
one is it?
Ishida Chiho.
Ishida Chiho, with the long hair.
Ishida. Yeah, Ishida. Okay, so like honestly, like I have no problem with that. Like I think, okay, you could do worse. This is a good song to get me, waiting for the big one, waiting for that one where we're all gonna be flattened, we're gonna be screaming about it for 3 hours. I honestly, like, if they can write a song that invokes this nostalgia, they have the ability to write a good song. So it reaffirmed to me why I still hold on to hope here, because they can still do it. I mean, whoever wrote that, get them to write a song that's super creative but has that nostalgia feel to it, and then we got ourselves a new AKB song, like a genuinely good one that we'll be talking about and we'll want them to play live. But this isn't bad. It's for all purposes, it's way better than the stuff they've been putting out. So like, kudos to them. Really, it's not bad.
Very good then. All right, then we're going to the sister side, I would say, and
Whew, a lot of those.
Sisters are.
Colin.
Which one should we do first?
Maybe I'm working.
No, I didn't hear anything, so I'm sorry.
No, my own headcanon. Is it sisters if it's outside of Japan, or is it like cousins? Because I see it. Sorry for the intrusion, but if it's Japan, I feel it's sisters, and when it's outside, I feel it's cousins. Maybe that's me, but then there's also Nogi, so and the 46 sides. They are like stepsisters to me, so...
Maybe it's like the Misaka network. Something like that, I would say.
You know what? Yeah, okay. Okay, can go with that. Okay, sorry, just...
Yeah, just a random thought.
Related.
My own headcanon.
That's good. It's funny. It's interesting. Like, I never know what to call them either, so I agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like sister,
we need
rifles.
to set it. We need to write it down and be like, we are saying this. People should oblige with it because... Maybe this works better, but go ahead. They all have the same job.
Write down in the comments if you have an idea, actually.
Just compare it to the Misaka network.
I got one. We need to call the ones outside the stepsisters, because it's like They're still sisters, but I think sisters. I think SKE, NTT, but they're like sisters to another dad.
Yeah,
There's another
basically, like
family.
Another mother, because it's
another mother. There
yeah,
you go.
mother
There,
country,
make it
right?
more maternal.
if
Another
the
mother
40,
country.
what would you consider the 46 side then?
Cousins.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, that's the other way. You know,
They've always been cousins. I've always looked at them as cousins.
okay.
Like fierce rival cousins sometimes. Like, like, oh, we hate you, but we still love you. Like, we'll eat food with you at Christmas. It's cool.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Like we'll chat for a bit and then we'll never see each other again
chat.
for the rest of the year.
Yeah, then we're back to fighting.
I feel that we should go with that. I think that's good.
Cousins
But
and
let's
stepsisters. Okay, well then
Yeah.
we're going with stepsisters for now. Let's do the bad one first, I would say.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please, I'm dying to destroy this. I'm
Okay,
dying.
so MNL48 came out
Okay.
with
Yeah.
their version of quinoa melody with the MV and all for it.
Oh, well.
I will now do it by visualizing what my opinions
Please,
was
oh
from
God.
the MV.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Mm.
Hi.
Hi.
I think this is
Horrible.
the idea,
You need to
right?
shave a bit.
Wait, you gotta go
shaved
out
2 days
too.
ago. It's like,
You gotta do a quick out one. Like,
no, you see me, right? No, it's like, oh, okay, here we are again.
Ooh, I see a chest.
Lots
looking.
of chest there. Lots of
if I
chest there.
saw one of those girls
Hey.
have chest hair, we'd have an even bigger problem. So,
Who knows? Maybe one of them. You never know.
well, hey,
I'm leaving this.
whatever. You do you, whoever you are.
Okay, so
Okay.
if you have no clue what we're talking about, basically, there was something wrong with this camera guy, and I know, Derek, you're gonna go and destroy it, but I'm gonna just injure him a little bit. It's like they're on this dolly and just moving in and out every time, and it's not like this, it's basically new scene and moving in, and then another scene, we're moving in, and it just went continuing like this, and then it's like side to side, side to side. It was just... I get it was the effect, but it's never a good thing to repeat over and over again unless you have a real theme to it. But then it's like he forgot to put on the brakes or something, or the marker was like added like 10 centimeters even further or closer to the members. And yeah, the problem is, I'm not the one to talk. I also have the teeth here. But it was a member that has like not like the perfect set of teeth. So just to show that, you're just being reminded of like, oh yeah, there's a little gap in there. It's like, it was not well, and I didn't like, the girls were all dressed up, but too dressed up.
Wait. Can I add to that one a little bit?
Yeah.
Would you agree with me that? Oh, well, agree maybe is a big word, but would you get the impression that they got that from the thrift shop, or am I the only one? Because I am.
Oh.
Because I did I did education actually, and we had a giant school with a lot of people, and there were also people from the musicals, and we would be in their classroom sometimes because that would happen, and it looks like those costumes, and when I compare it like that, it's like bad, worn out. Well, those were bad, but in the MV, I really got the impression that those were
$20 in my pocket.
Yeah, it felt cheap costumes. The one with the dresses, the one with the costumes,
Those were fine.
the
Those were
purple.
actually
Yeah,
just.
I like them.
Those were very, soft,
Violet
mellow.
color,
You can want to. But they were so over the top, some of them, like that, and they
Yeah.
were all mixing, and it was like there was this one that had just like, I'm just gonna smile, not even sing, with this layers and layers of too much makeup in this like outfit that's just too bright for the rest of the girls. It didn't.
Yeah.
And then you had the costumes, and then if you like again what I just said with AKB48, it's a group, they all are on the same level. And this was just felt like, okay, we just got here, random girls, like the Miss World stuff.
Yeah.
And not in coherence at all. It's like, you put this on, I think we have something here in your size, here you go.
Yeah, that impression I got too. Yeah.
No, but production-wise, it's bad. It is bad, and I couldn't even focus. Like, I think that there's one girl I was like, "You're fine." That was my attention grabber basically in the whole MV. But the song itself, it was forgettable because I was thinking more of just Kimiwa melody and not what they call it, like EY melody, something
Their
like that.
version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their version basically. And this didn't do anything good. This was not in a good favor. So those are my thoughts, and let's go down the path. So DX, what do you think?
Well, to be quite honest, the song itself was enjoyable for me personally. It's more like I got distracted way too much with all the zooming in and zooming out. At one moment, I actually had to shut down the video and just enjoy the audio because I'm not sure what they were figuring with the MV, but someone needs to fire the one created and the camera guy as well. So for the rest, I want to say it was fine, but the MV ruined it for me, to be quite honest. If I were to listen to it like on Spotify or something like that, I will enjoy it. Well, let me put it this way: if it was on the radio or on Spotify, I'm enjoying the song quite. But if I were to watch the video, then the song would be ruined. So this is a typical case of the MV ruining a song.
Exactly. Yeah, very well said. Colin?
Yeah, production. No, I'm like, what did I say? What can I add? You know, production-wise, I'm like, it felt like a mix of many things, and it wasn't mixing well. The costumes, as in the costumes, I like those, but like the dresses, I can get behind the concept, but except the center, like I liked her dress, but it felt, you know, like I said, thrift shop or you know, hand-me-downs maybe. It had that feeling going on. That's something I said about the previous one. I like that they were looking in the camera. I like that. I'm not talking about close-ups. I'm actually talking about looking in the camera.
Well, the girls did do nothing wrong, actually. That's not the problem.
Not their fault, but it's the people behind it. I budget. I don't know. I like that they look in the camera because I like that. It creates a connection. I'm not like, you know, I don't want this because hi people. I personally, again, I really don't like that when they do that. I'm like, I will do like them and I'll be looking away, and I don't want that. But they did nothing wrong. Robin said it very well. They did nothing wrong, but production itself, I would agree. Well, I do still like the song, but I do like the original song. But the MV does not do many favors for the group, and it's not their fault, sadly, which is a good thing because that means that they do well. They do well. They do good. They don't do particularly anything wrong. It's just that the people behind it, they I don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to do it. They do it. Maybe it works there. I don't know. That could, you know, remember the Kimiwa Mango didn't work for me because I did not associate with that, but it associated with them. So, you know, maybe it's that kind of thing. I hope they improve. The people behind the scenes, I say, because I don't like comparing, but I've seen some other things, and you know, you could learn a lot based on production from the other groups. And that's I do like production. I something
that's
can
important.
save that for me. But it's not doing many favors. I feel it was a step down, objectively.
Very good.
That's good.
Here we go then, Derek.
Well, okay, so like as you know, like I've been doing my camera shit, or sorry, and like I'm not an expert. I'm certainly not a professional. I've watched YouTube videos for the past like 3 months and finally got my camera. And for the past month on tour, I used it every day and learned the ins and outs of it. Again, not a professional. But you know, I learned a lot about lenses, about, you know, how to make your camera motion fluid. You can get an inexpensive camera these days, inexpensive being around like $2 or $3 grand, and get $80,000 camera production value out of it if you know what you're doing. So I will say, here's my positives. The images are crisp as crisp can be. So that means they have a tremendously expensive lens on their camera. So kudos to them for that. Okay. The problem is I think that's where they spent all their money. I don't think they thought about the rest of it. because like they have a glide cam. A glide cam is basically you put the camera on, you can hold it, and when you do it, it gives you that like non-motion when you're stepping. And a lot of cameras today, they have built-in IBIS, internal body stabilization, where you can walk and it's still like my camera has that. It has amazing stabilization. But when you have a glide cam, you know, or if you have a gimbal, you know, you can
Osmo,
you can
gimbal,
do all that
stuff like that.
Yeah, you can do all that. So the thing is, you could spend $8,000 or $9,000 and come up with a $50,000 looking MV these days. You totally can. They're shooting. I want to say they shot in what's called vlog, where you get a lot of information from your shot, and then when you go to color grade it and you edit it in post, you can make it look like $1 million. So they did that right. So they got it right. The problem is they did it too good. It was too sharp. Like my lens that I like, it's an 1835 Sigma. It's known for being two things. One, it's a beast in low light. You can shoot in darkness and still get something, which I did. A lot of this content is super dark. When you see the footage we're gonna put out, it's pretty light, and that's all my lens. Two, it's so sharp you can make out nose hairs. So it's like sometimes you have to put like a filter on your front to like soften it. There's plenty of those. There's all different kinds of ways you can do it. They didn't do that. So it was too sharp. And even then, it would have been okay had they not made this into a film for Dennis. Like, it's a Dennis film. And so it's like, before I even get into that, let me say something else, too. I actually thought the girls crushed it musically. The girls themselves, they did what they had. Again, they were in a situation where here's the material, here's the crappy idea we have for the video. Have fun, come back that. And they did. But to their credit, I thought they sounded great. I thought they nailed every single melodic note. It's not my favorite song. They actually made me like it a little bit because I think the girls in MNL48 have tremendous singing talent. But that makes sense because everything we know about the Filipinos they're good at singing, or that's what they value. So they're coming into it almost in a K-pop sense where all these girls, they can sing. So I expected that from them. But the challenge for MNL I see now is, how do the MNL girls actually defeat their management? Do you remember the one reason why we started paying attention to MNL48 in the first place? It was because that video that we saw, that MV for Cyanide's song, 365, half of it was written by what? The girls.
Yep.
And you could tell it was written from here. And it wasn't the best shot, it didn't need to be. It was from here. And also, this is their challenge, I think. They're really going to have to be like, we need to fire our management today. Honestly, if I was them, or if I was in a position to take over this group, I'd fire every single one of their managers. Every single one. I don't think any of them deserve to be managers. You should never, ever allow an idol to be put in the position that those idols were put in this MV. That was embarrassing. And it's not the girls' fault. Again, these girls aren't perfect. I'm not expecting them to be perfect. But when you have a sharp lens that can make out every blemish, and you're trying to compensate for extra makeup, in the case of that one girl, which I know exactly what you're talking about, there's a problem there. That's simple direction and simple editing that even me, Mr. Not Professional, can see 3 million miles away. And then on top of that, you never put a camera inside a girl's mouth. I mean, I'm sorry, you just don't. I mean, unless you're into that weird fetish stuff, which I don't think MNL is. I don't think that's what they're trying to promote here. Why would you take the camera and literally shove that lens up this girl's? I mean, I could make out lines in her teeth. That's messed up. I mean, can you imagine if they did that to the AKB girls? Even as beautiful and as gorgeous as they are, we would be thinking the same exact thing.
Yes.
These girls are not perfect. And, when these girls get on stage, I see with the Necroma girls, they have to put on certain, stage makeup and stuff like that. So same with MVs. You want to look your best. Now, when you have a sharp lens like that, you can actually get away with less makeup and let your body just be naturally beautiful, cover up your blemishes. But even then, you have to be careful with the lighting because your lens will pick up they'll pick up that that's covered.
HD.
Also, it's HD 4K.
Yeah, 4K.
And 4K doesn't lie. So you have to really be careful about your lighting. And so they didn't do any of that. Literally, it's like they asked the guy who probably goes and gets them waters every day to film. Like, here's a camera, have fun. And he's like, because that's what he's used to doing. He's used to holding waters and bringing them to the girls. Here you go. Here's the waters, girl. That's what he was doing. And honestly, it's like the girls' costumes. I actually don't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm not saying anything about Filipinos' economic state. I don't know if it's a reflection of that. I don't know if maybe they don't have a budget for that. I'm not kidding. Maybe they really did spend all their money on that lens and on that camera. because I know that the image quality they got is not cheap to get. It is not. I know, because I've just spent $4,000 or $5,000 getting that kind of image. But you can't just rely on that. And also, where was the creativity? You can't make a video like this for, all those minutes and then occasionally cut with like side gimbal shots or side glide shots. And then, and the sad part is the girls can dance. They can sing. Yeah. And what did you do? You focused on their teeth? Huh? Like, it was just, it's unbelievable. So honestly, that is probably one of the worst, maybe the worst MV I've ever seen in my life when it comes to Idol. But the girls, I'm not knocking them. They're tremendous. It's just they're in a very unfortunate position of having maybe the worst Idol management I've ever seen or I've ever had to even deal with. And I feel like I'm dealing with them because I'm taking on the burdens of this. I kind of have my own Oshi in the group. Kay, I don't even think she was in the video, thank God. But it's like, I feel bad for the girls that were in the video. They could have really shined, and they could have turned this like very mediocre AKB song into something really glorious through their own interpretation. And we got teeth shots. Like, I felt like I was in dental school. It's just, honestly, MNL needs to fire their management, and they need to do it today. I hate to be that strong. I hate to be that powerful in my words. I know it's a very bold statement, but I support these girls a lot. I think these girls are great. I think they have something. I can't believe it took me this long to see it. They got something. They do. The problem is they don't got a management team that knows how to get that out of them properly. So I think I'm really hoping they'll take this video and even the one from last at the amusement park where that was all over the map too with the camera. And they realize you need to have a professional staff, because if we seg into the other groups and what we're going to talk about, that's like cinematic quality. And you know what? It doesn't cost that much to get people that know how to do that. It really doesn't. I could have lent them out the people that did Necroma's last MV, and they could have made 30,000 times more better setup with the 4 people that shot our MV and the cameras they had. I mean, you just got to think about it. You got to script it. You got to think hard on it. You don't just put that out there, especially when you're dealing with a franchise like AKB, a storied franchise where every song actually has a lot of history and weight to it. You can't be loose with that. And they're not in a good way. So, worst video may be in AKB48's history, and I hate to give that title to MNL48 because I actually genuinely love these girls a lot, and I love their fans. But honestly, get rid of the management.
I'm still saying the worst one from AKB was the So Long, I think, song.
So Long?
That was horrible. Oh, don't even go down. That's
bad
right up there.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
But this one's pretty bad.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to a slightly better, I would say, and that was surprising from Team TP.
Yeah, finally, the
Team
myth
TP
is over.
Festival.
Yeah, the myth is over.
Well,
The
let's
myth is
not
over.
jump to conclusions that fast, but yeah, let's.
This is true. This is
Yeah.
true. This could be like a
Yeah,
one and
TP.
done and never hear from him again.
Well,
First time about TP. Okay.
yeah. So no, I'm actually very happy how they basically. If you compare this was shot for shot a very good MV. And
Yeah,
the
it's gorgeous.
song is very
Oh, it's
good for
gorgeous.
them. It's to be fair, a relatively easy song to perform.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It is.
But it's good. It's really something you're like, oh, that's visually nice. You know, they're dancing to the festival. It really feels like the one who decided then, no, now we have people with all my balloons and then just have a like real festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The concept got over. It's a very good type of song, I would say. So not much to say because again, it's a relatively easy song. But I would say no, the girls look great. Everything surrounding in there. I really like seeing Abe Maria again. I haven't seen her in a while.
Exactly.
No, but I think everyone was shining in there and a very good performance. So yeah. Good job, TP.
Well, I would say with TP, if I could just say this, and sorry to jump in like this so fast, but I think they did it right in 2 ways. One, they picked a song that, like you said, it's not that hard,
It's easy.
and
Yeah.
but that's smart. That's smart. If you're not sure of your true talent and you're just starting and you don't got necessarily like superstars that are going to jump out at you, which they don't, not yet. I have to be honest, like, you want an easy song to just get yourself on the map. And they picked a fun song, a good song. Does this mean anything? Are we going to see anything from TP after this? Who knows? But let's hope that this is a good sign. Like the jury's still out, like you said, Colin. Like let's not jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
We may not hear from him again, but it's like we might hear from him in a year. But it's like if they can follow this up and they can start showing the personality side of these girls, I'd say we finally got a group in Taipei that's like could really crush it. And the girls, they didn't look too bad.
Well,
so I mean, they weren't. Nobody stood out, but it was.
We
it wasn't
know that they
bad.
have a Takamina.
Yeah, I just wanted to
They
say
have
that.
Takamina.
Yeah,
That
what
didn't stand out.
What?
That's hysterical. Like awesome.
When I was watching the video, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I want to see a perfect perspective of Abe Maria and that girl next to each other.
Oh god.
That's gotta be
Oh,
such a
she's
difference
tiny.
maker.
No, she's.
Yeah.
I know the one because she stood out to me during the concert earlier this year, and I know she's 24 at least. I think she still is, and yeah, I think she's very tiny. I thought she was much younger, and I was like, 24. Okay, hello. But no production. I think it looks great. I like the color. Surprisingly, it was done very well. It's an easy song, easy. They did something to it, and it was fun. Fun. I think they did a good job. For the second single, it's it's an easy song. Yeah, I can't really add anything to that. It was done very well. I was like, it made me smile. I
A
thought
step in the right direction.
they have
Yeah,
a very
pretty
good
much, yeah.
production team. I think they have good management. They do good. Well, good, fine. They do very, very fine. I think. And
Yeah,
what
what I hope their trajectory is easy to step by step going into the harder songs. I would say.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's something like that if you were making the trajectory. I would say so. I'm really curious how long it's going to take for the next single and what the next single is going to be right on.
That's the thing right there. That's the question mark. What does this mean for us? Do we actually have a Taipei group? Is this a one and done? Is because they've been very sporadic. Like I said, I really thought they were a myth. This is good though. Like I love being disproven on this. This is great. But now we need to see characters. BNK came out pretty fast with Prang and Music and Mobile and all those girls. MNL, we started to learn their names really fast, which we took a halfway of an interest. Taipei needs that. They need to bring out little Takamina Jr. and bring her out because we're all going to remember her. And then maybe the other girl that was kind of up front at the festival, they were all kind of taking point. But give us some personality now. Like they gotta follow this up fast or they're gonna lose that momentum. So that would be my only thing with them. But I want to hear from the Taipei fans if there's any out there. If we have anybody from Taipei that listens, what do you think? Your girls they've arrived or have they? What are your thoughts? Like we need to know.
Very good. Then we still have to keep going. There were so many.
I know. It's craziness.
Speaking about myth.
Okay, so I know which one you want to talk about, Colin, but I'm saving that one for last because.
Sure. No, I want to talk about another myth.
Yeah. Team Saigon. Am I right?
SGO.
Unbelievable.
SGO with heavy rotation.
Let's see me once I go back.
So production-wise, yes, that's very good.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
first
yeah.
one. I like the shots in the football field.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yep. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. They had a lot of wardrobe changes. Maybe too many. Not needed. The girls are not that ready for that song, I would say. It was too much for them to do heavy rotation in that level.
Yeah.
It was more
Exactly what I'm
like
talking about.
you could perform with AKB doing that song. It's like, oh yeah, we're performing heavy rotation. But doing it as your own version, they were not ready for this. And visually, the members, I'm like, missing something, missing timing. The biggest part, of course, in heavy rotation for me is the bridge part, as Derek said.
The bridge, yeah.
It's with normally Oshima Yuko and Maida Asuko side by side together, and we're sharing the group and in sync because we all love each other. And this one was like, oh yeah, you're doing this, I'm doing this. Hey, you're here as well, and then move on. Like, it didn't hit me. It's heavy rotation, so the song is amazing, of course, but everything else, it felt like there was one part where there was like I just favored it in the editing and then the shots in production, but there was one part it's like, let's put in a big pink background
yeah.
with fuzzy
Yeah,
bubble
what
pop
was that?
and
was like,
just
huh?
Yeah.
paste them on there.
Huh?
You forgot the little background lines. Yeah, like it's fine. Nobody will notice.
Right?
Oh,
Right? Like, spend all this money on all the production, and then how do you miss that? But
They
okay, but
They could have done that in the football field. That
yeah,
would've
pretty
been-
much. Yeah,
that
with a
would've been
nice
funny.
natural background, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Green.
Well-
Who knew?
wait, the thing is to say about this though, this is a group that did the opposite of Taipei. They went too hard.
Yeah.
You might think Heavy Rotation is an easy song. It's not, because what is that song essentially? Aside from being an instant classic, the second it starts, it's character.
Yeah,
It's
it
like you
builds
said,
on
right?
character
It's
of the
all
girls,
character. Yuko and Achan crush that song. Like when they're in that bridge, when they're together, and you got their faces, and there's love there. All those girls were every girl had a chance to shine. Mika, the director, knew exactly how to pull it out of them. But then again, in fairness, they had Mika directing back then. She is a goddess at directing. I mean, go watch, Helter Skelter if you don't believe me.
Yep.
So it's just like I'm just saying, like, honestly, like good job, Saigon. Like I'm proud of you for trying. The front girl kind of has an emotionless stare. I like that though. I actually didn't have too much of a problem with that, but it doesn't work for this song. You
Not for
want
this
like
song,
the
I would
Yuko.
say. No,
Yeah, you want the gankiest one. They do have another girl that kind of looks like Jonishi Ray in the face. So obviously not less older, less like giraffe long body looking,
Yeah.
but just more like her face. I saw it a little bit there. She's super cute. These girls are all very young looking, which I think might work in their favor because Idol tends to celebrate youth, so that's good. I thought it was great though for a first attempt. I mean, I give them credit for trying, but
Yeah.
again, what does this mean? What does this mean for us? Is this a one and done? Has Saigon arrived? I mean, are we actually gonna get a group in Vietnam? Like, what does this mean? So again, same thing. I want to hear from the Vietnamese fans or anybody who's into Vietnam and that world, that culture. What does this mean for us? Can we expect more? And also, I do think those girls need to work on their personalities because it was very dry. And a Heavy Rotation should be all about personality. Do you remember the opening shot in the original Heavy Rotation with the girls all in a line? Do you remember like how they're all playing with each other? They're all like kind of throwing stuff at each other, like Mariko being mischievous, Yuko being Yuko, like touching each other, like just being very sensual and very female, which is what Mika wanted in that. Where was that in this video? Again, I don't want to see these girls in lingerie. That's not what I'm implying. But it's like if you're going to do the football field,
Forced.
it felt forced, exactly. If you're going to have to do the football field, give me a quarterback, give me the field goal kicker that misses the goal. If you want to play on that theme, go with it. Sure, I mean, why not? But they didn't do anything. The only thing they did right was A, the singing was good. I'm totally okay with that. B, I thought their dancing was pretty good despite being a little stiff, but that's okay. They're just starting. But they got to get those personalities. You can't be like 10, 12 girls of blank walls. You got to have something. There was one girl there that kept smiling a lot, and I was like, I don't know who she was. She was in the back, and she wasn't the prettiest one, but I was thinking, bring her up to the front because she looks like an idol to me. The other ones look like they're kind of K-pop converts becoming idols. I don't know. I could be wrong. So we'll see, though. I'm very curious. What do you guys think?
Nice attempt. I think they got a bit ahead of themselves. They should have been, like Itakata or
Something
festival or
easy.
something
easier.
easy.
Yeah, I would say.
What else would be easy? Either way, something safe. Yes, the first single. You do it. Make it easy. I think it looked neat. I think it looked quite neat. I really like those outside shots. It looked really nice. I felt that it had. Maybe that's just me, but when with the mic they do. And the camera went along with that. I really like that. It's like it felt vibrant in a way. But that one with the wall or the CG wall that. I was like,
what is that?
like I said, you should have kept it on the football field. It looked cute, colorful, pleasant. Maybe got a bit ahead of themselves. So. It's a valiant attempt, I would say.
I would say I would say it's a bold attempt.
Yeah,
Not quite there yet, but you can really see this song leans on personality of the girls, and it went flat pretty much, which is also my opinion. The song itself was fun, but the song needs character, and it lacked that severely. So maybe it was a bit of a too bold attempt for a first song, I would say.
Yeah, that.
Right.
I agree. Bold. That's the best word to put it. Yeah.
Very good then.
Very
DX, anything?
No, I just said what I thought. Mostly has already been said, and I only could add a bit more, and that's about it. Actually, to be quite honest.
The one thing I wanted. I find it very impressive that they had 1 million views in like 5 days or so. That's
Yeah, that was
good.
quick.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
even
That's
even
really
the
quick, yeah.
teaser had that, and I don't like teasers, but that's good. I think that's pretty good for only
Yeah.
because I have like no idea if it does well or how the music industry is there. So I think it. I mean, 1 million still in this day.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good in a way. So maybe the next one we'll see. Maybe we won't. maybe we
Yes.
won't.
Again, the question: where
Yeah.
where do we go from here? So yeah.
Okay.
point.
Well, DX, then give our short thoughts about the last MV that came out, and it's BNK48's Reborn.
Oh boy! When I saw the teaser, it was like, yep, it's in high school, and it seems like someone is going to transfer out of here. Especially in hindsight of Izurina going to Chiang Mai, so it's like, am I ready to watch this, or I'm bracing for the worst in that regards, I would say. Yeah. So I really like the story they're telling, but I'm really bracing myself for the worst at the moment.
They didn't do the song, so basically only
No.
a little few seconds.
It was
Yeah.
a trailer. It
It
was,
was a trailer. It was a
yeah,
trailer.
teaser, trailer, what do you ever want to call it? But basically, it's the premise of the story, and someone getting bullied out of the group, and then you just see Izurina going to cry, and then suddenly someone shows up, and then the song starts, and then bam, that's it. So it's definitely like a little teaser to that style. Yeah, Colin, what do you think?
It has great memes. So I felt a bit like Yeo in there. Some of the moments, like there are some good meme moments. Kimi wa goto suki dakara had that too. Like at one point they're like, and then like this, and even one of them, I forgot her name, but I know who it is. She wanted to do yay, but then the others pressured her, and then like no. I thought the meme wise, I think it's hilarious. It made me laugh. I think it's gonna be a real tearjerker. It was the song, I believe, if I say it correct, I think I said it before. Izurina wanted this, or people wanted this, including her maybe, to be her final song in BNK. It's now kind of true because when it got announced that this would be the song, we didn't know that she would be transferring. Now she is going to transfer, so it's her last song with BNK. Really a bummer, but you know it's done. It will happen. It looks really cool. It has connections with a BNK manga. I want to say it's called Most Dream, and there's a lot of references to that. Also, Job, he is in it again. He is basically he's basically Stan Lee in the BNK world because he always pops up. I'm not complaining. I think he's great. It's good. You know,
It's funny.
someone. It's funny, and I think it looks interesting. I think it's shot by two members, Miori and Korn, and I think they did a really good job. Derek was talking about heart earlier, and I think this will have a lot of heart, especially considering that it's Isusta Arena, you know, final song with BNK. Miori is in it, and I know they are very close. I think it's gonna be one of those, maybe probably the best MV BNK will put out, but only on the notion that I said it only on the notion because in Izurina's last one, it looks very promising. The story looks very relatable to Izurina's situation. I think it will be a very interesting one. I like it. I want to see the full MV. I hope it's for an album, people. The B-side for an album. It looks really good. I think it looks really good, and I really look forward to an MV with a lot of heart. I think we're having a good one.
Yeah, we're bracing
maybe not.
ourselves.
Maybe
We're
it could be
bracing ourselves.
terrible. I don't know. I hope not. They did perform the song, but we know the song already. The original one and the Thai version of it. But it looks promising. I'm like, yeah, I give it. It's been a while since Jabaja. You know, give this B-side, release the album. God damn it. And we're gonna say a heartfelt goodbye to Izurina. Sadly, but also in a good way. So this is just a trailer, people. Just a trailer. I think it looks very good, and that's not me being, BNK is the greatest thing. I'm actually speaking objectively. I tend to do that unless I say I don't. It looks
Nice one.
good.
That's good.
Well,
yeah.
So Derek, what do you think?
It didn't affect me that much. I don't know. Didn't really touch my heart like it's touching yours. But I really, really enjoy that it is crystal clear quality, shot beautifully, the total opposite of MNL's debacle, and very much from the heart. So I'm not gonna knock it. It just felt like, I've heard this story before, and it's cool. But I don't. I mean, I like Izarina, and like she makes me very happy. But it just didn't quite grab me what little I saw. However, I do agree with everything you said, Colin. It's going to be amazing, and it already looks amazing. But I also kind of feel like, well, these are the honor roll, stepsisters. Like these are the stepsisters you don't got to worry about. They're the ones that come home with the all A+ on their report card. It's like, oh well, kind of expected it. All right, you go, do you, good girl. Go to your room, and I'll just do what you have to do. And if you need something from me, it's cool. Good job. I mean, it's like you can only tell the best student in the class good job so many times before it's like, who cares? It's more like, what do you need from me? I'll give it to you. Like, honestly, we don't got to worry about BNK. We never have to worry about that. They have established themselves as the stepsister group in the world. I don't think anyone's going to touch them. I mean, I hate to say it, but, JKT, unfortunately, I don't know. I just don't know what is going on with them. But I just think BNK has surpassed everyone and everything in that regard. They're even surpassing groups on the mainland in terms of their quality, what they're doing, how they're managing stuff, how they're really pushing each girl individually as best they can. They got a charming management team. I don't know. MNL, their management should go do an internship with them for like 2 months, or just have me teach them.
BNK is currently in their golden era.
Oh, that's a very good way of putting it, Rob.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's hope they stay that way, though.
Yeah.
Let's hope their golden era lasts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For like 10 years.
Okay then. Well, finally we went to all the MVs that came up.
That was it, I think.
Yeah.
Next week we have nothing to talk about.
I'm not sure about
something.
that. No. There is something. But speaking of which, you want to go into then recommendations before, or do you still have anything else you want to mention?
AKB went to Malaysia and Bangkok fan meeting. I saw. It was great. People were very positive. They loved it, and it made me very happy. I saw a lot of great photos from everyone, and I think that's good. Hopefully more stuff overseas.
There was one moment I laughed so hard, and of course, who guessed it? It's a segment with Okada Nana and Muriama Yuri.
Of course.
And thank you, of course, the community for subbing this very quickly. Okada Nana fans on Twitter, of course. So this is the segment. They have like this screen on there, and they're gonna do the Siri basically style. And
that one!
And this was called Hey Yuri. So at the other locations, it was Hey Okada or Hey Nana, and then she showed a nice picture of Muriam Yuri. But now it was Yuri's turn to be the Hey Yuri style, and so she's gonna ask, like Okada's gonna ask, like, Hey Yuri, what do you think about this? And it's like, oh, that's very nice. And she's very in a computer voice. And they said, could you show me a picture of Muriam Yuri? And she's swiping, and everybody's like, oh, it's cute. And she's like, yeah, it is. She's very cute, isn't she? But now let's show a picture of me. And then Muriam Yuri shows a picture of Okada Nana sleeping with her mouth open like this. and she just goes into an outrage, like, hey, like we didn't talk about it. And then suddenly Muriam Yuri comes from stage, just like, oh, you're supposed to be back there. It's like, yeah, but I want to be here and just say this. So they had a very fun interaction, and that was just a joy to see. So hopefully they do more segments of that. I really love those heartfelt moments in there. And I think the other one was also on the tour with Mutatomu that we can talk about.
No, that was on the tour.
That's Tokyo Idol Festival.
Saturday,
okay.
Mutatomu is from the Tokyo Idol Festival, yeah.
Okay, but still the tour Nachan was talking about. She went to Malaysia, and then she went to Taipei.
No, Malaysia, Bangkok.
But yeah, like the entire
Yeah.
tour, and she was just exhausted, just going to all these places. Well, Derek used to know how exhausting a tour can be from going to country.
Don't I?
So that was her justifying on that picture. So that was very nice. But yeah, the tour is going great, and people are having a lot of fun. So good on them, I would say. Yeah, and then what I just said is with the Tokyo Idol Festival that Mutatomu was doing what's that song called? Yeah. So she was doing the twist, the mic toss, and the mic flew out, hit the soundstage. So you hear that this banging. She's like, oh crap! Like, all right, fine. Just try to save Grace, but no, people were just funny. I would say.
Sound system was screwed after that. Like, I mean, you could hear it was like audibly like done for. So I don't know what she hit, but like it was like direct shot bullseye. You go Skywalker. Like seriously.
Pretty much.
Whoops.
Oops.
Whoops.
At least it didn't hit anyone.
Yeah.
That
It's
would have been real
yeah.
bad. Yeah.
That could happen.
Didn't some girl recently in AKB just take a header off the stage? Like, do you know what I'm talking about? There was some. I thought I saw a video. One of the like in a regular show.
Mizuki.
Yeah.
Mizuki.
Poor Mizuki. She went like
Yamaguchi.
hardcore down. Like
Yep.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she's alright. She was fine.
Well,
But-
luckily, it happened with
luckily.
who was it? Kaori, also another 16 gen. It's like, yeah, AKB should be a bit more
Yeah.
safe.
Hell yeah.
Watch
But
out.
As in, is making
That's
sure that
hard,
no
though.
one falls.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
Or you could,
maybe
happen.
Yeah.
maybe it's because the heels and which is a skill, what they do because there's heels, dancing, jumping. Maybe she just
Lost
jumped,
balance.
skipped. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
lost
balance. Right.
Hopefully she's fine. I think she's fine.
I think she's fine.
Okay then. Let's then go to our recommendations for next week. I would say if you have time and find it somewhere, AK Bingo has been doing great. They probably
Oh,
have
yeah.
been listening to us. Yeah, I've said it again. They've been doing great, Colin.
Yeah. No, I want to listen. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I believe today, or well, as of this recording, it just aired.
Yeah.
Michiburi
yeah.
Dodgeball is back.
Yes.
Hey,
Who else
it's
is
about
back?
time.
Who else is back?
What does he does like mama something like that?
Kuro-chan.
Kuro-chan.
With his ass hitting the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was last
Oh,
week's
yeah.
episode, and
That
I
was last
watched
week,
that,
actually, yeah.
and
Komi.
a heartfelt moment with Komiyama Haruka saying
Crying
about senpai strongness, and I'm now the captain of Team K, so I have to do the same thing. And I'm not gonna
She
spoil
did.
the rest. Yeah, hey, I'm not gonna spoil the rest. See, it's actually a fun episode to watch.
yeah.
And even before that, because we missed last week's as well, that's a fashion.
A fashion show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fashion show,
fashion
like the old
show.
school fashion show. So they're
yeah.
going with the old school episodes,
Mhm.
and
Not
we've
bad.
talked about this multiple times. It maybe not fit their style, but I would say go watch those. Those are very interesting.
Mhm.
And Keikita Kakanai has also a very special episode. It was the graduation episode of Nagahama Neru, and even Hirata Yurina was there to say goodbye.
Oh.
It was very interesting how it styles. She is the Dark Idol, so her goodbye was more just like, gonna miss you, and then
Yeah.
move
that's
on
right.
to the rest. There was some fun moments in there, so that we'll be watching. And last week's Keiki Kakanai was also amazing because it was the Keiki Republic performance, and I gotta watch that. That performance was
I
amazing.
still need to watch that actually. Yeah.
There's some very very cool moments in there, and the cannons they're using just to hose everybody down. I'm really planning on to go if that keeps up. This has been the third one this year, and they use it every time with the cannons. And this guy is also there. The Justice guy.
Justice.
Crazy.
Oh,
Sunshine
yeah,
Ikazaki.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sunshine Ikazaki.
Yeah, such a crazy man. He has some new gimmicks that you can throw in there. And otherwise, Rocket Punch is coming out tomorrow.
Yep,
And
tomorrow,
I agree, Derek. It's mainly be great compared to like Ice One or something like that. I do hope the group will succeed, and I'm very happy to see more of Takahashi Juri being in there, given that basically she found herself doing Produce 48. ever since you did done that. So you really
Yeah, true that.
blossomed into something. So those were my recommendations. DX, what do you have?
I'm actually out because I wanted to do Rocket Punch, so you took mine, so I'm
Whoops,
out.
sorry. Colin.
Tokyo Idol Festival did something amazing. It wasn't AKB, it wasn't BNK. No, it was Hello Project, making me very happy.
Oh.
It was good old Miyabi, old Barry Scobo member, in her new group, Pink Crest, with a new Hello Project group called Beyonds, and they did a Barry Scobo medley, and it was the best thing ever. 5 songs, making me very happy. In my opinion, was the best thing about the whole Tokyo Idol Festival, even though I only watched the things that I watched. But I say it was the best special stage for them, made me happy. They did good songs. I would have changed maybe one, but I absolutely loved it. And I would say, if you have the time, watch only that part if you like Hello Project. Or, you're like me and you just love Barry Scobo. I only know one person. But made me. I loved it. I loved it. It made me happy. It was a surprise to me. I didn't know that was happening. I knew that Beyonce would be playing because I happened to know that name. Because Hello Project. That's not really a good reason, but I just happened to know. Oh, all right. And then I saw Miyabi tweet. I was like, Barry's what? And that makes me just very happy. So
nice.
Only watch that. Only watch that because that's the only thing that matters. But that's personal speaking. Yeah, AK Bingo, it's great. I love it. It's past 4 episodes, including the one that we haven't watched yet, I think do very good. I'm very happy that Miromoto does something that he wants to do, and I've really thought that he always, just did what he wanted to do. But I'm very happy that he, or the staff behind, invited back Kuro-chan. Not someone I was like hoping for it to come back, but you know what? It resulted in something hilarious, old-fashioned, but in a new jacket, as we say, something very enjoyable, and that is very, very good. I hope that AK Bingo does that, not all the time, but from time to time, because I also I like the laid-back episodes, only focus on 1 or 2 members or whatever, or a handful. Other than that, end of the month, there's a Shanghai concert with 6, I want to say, of the 48 groups. I look forward to that. I want to wait.
That's gonna be big. That's gonna be big.
Something is going to happen there.
Oh yeah, Bangkok was great. That was the previous city that hosted it. Now they're back for a second one. I'm very happy. I hope it's very good. I just give me that again. I hope. Yeah, I think it will be live streamed because it happened. But maybe you have to find some ways. But I look forward to that. There's a good month, I want to say, and July as well. Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Derek, finally.
Yeah. Again, I very much, my recommendations are going to be a little bit all over here, but I want to see what everyone has to say in the comments. It's been a while since I've been there. Definitely looking forward to talking with all of you. So my own recommendation myself is check out the comments once we get them. I'm excited to see what everyone's been saying, and yeah, I'm excited for that. So that's a weird first one. Again, this is more from my world, but I just figure it's a good place to do it. Yanakoto Sotomuto, probably my all-time favorite group next to Guso, Drop, and Necroma. They just lost one of their members, Reina-chan, tonight or yesterday. So she's gone. So now they're gonna go back to the original 3 that were there before they got Reina. I'm really bummed by this. It wasn't the kind of news I was hoping to come back home from tour to hear. Yanami is very special to my heart. I took them over to America. I was a diehard fan of them. I can hear one of their songs off their Bubble album today, and it will take me right back to being in the sweaty live house venues of Tokyo when I was just a fan like 3 years ago, and basically, just entering this whole world. So, it's kind of sad that I won't see Reina anymore. But the reason I'm recommending them is go listen to them, go support them. Please show some support for Yanamu. They have a hard road ahead of them because Reina did definitely fit them well, and she was a good girl. She's young, she's very good. I know why she's leaving for the most part. At least I have an idea, and it's it makes sense. But it's just it's sad. It's very sad. So support them. I think it's good. Also, another recommendation of support, please go to the Necronomidol Twitter. there is a post there about Himari. Himari Tsukichiro on this tour basically was very overwhelmed and had a lot of fatigue, and came back from tour and did something that she's pretty much, I don't think, has done since she's joined Necroma, and that's basically get off Twitter. There's been a lot of people wondering if she's going to graduate. I can confirm there's no graduation. There's nothing like that. She's just really out of it. Just all reports is that she just needs some time. She's going to be okay. But I think the best thing anyone can do, if you like Necroma, if you support, if you watch this show and you really like Necroma, please go there on that post and show her some love. There's been a lot of people getting on there, giving her a lot of praise and love. I hope she's going to read it. I mean, I don't think she's been online at all, not even like communicating wise. So with like Ricky and them. So I that's what I'm hearing. So I just think, we have a show on Friday at Chelsea Hotel in Shibuya. If you happen to be in Japan, come check it out. It's with Gugalulu and Ray. It's going to be awesome. I think Ray's on it. But Gugalulu's on it, definitely. It's going to be a great show. It'll be a fun show. We do great at Chelsea. But she'll be back for that. So there's no worries there, but please go give her some support. It was a very difficult and rough tour for the girls in that sense. It was just a really long tour. I think we were all kind of, we all needed that rest. So just show her some love and support. I think that's important. If you like Idol, do it, because it's important. Also, Idol Underworld, my site that I'm working on, I will be getting new groups. As soon as I got back, starting to line up, sit downs and making everything official. So keep an eye out on that. Also, Necroma will be putting up a bunch of stuff probably next week as well, to kind of give us even more stuff to do. And yeah, I'm just going to keep marching forward with that. The Idol documentary is also, keep an eye out for some news about that. And my vlog also, I'll be posting that as soon as I get a second to actually go through all the questions everybody's been giving me. If you have a question about the tour that I was just on, you can leave it in the comments here. I think that's okay. You guys don't mind, I hope.
No worries.
If it's cool. But if not, it's okay too. Because again, we're gonna have our hands full talking about everything we talked about today. Because we talked about a lot, and I'm very excited to hear what everybody has to say, especially the MNL fans. I really want to give a special shout out to all of you. I love you. I'm not trying to be mean to you or your girls. I really support MNL. So don't be don't take what I said wrong. It's just you guys have a legit management issue, and I think that needs to be resolved. Or at the very least, you need to get somebody can film. I mean, I hate to say that. I don't mean to be a rude jerk to the person that did it or the crew that did it, but they really didn't do the girls justice. They messed up. They messed up big time, and it's not fair to the girls who I can tell are clearly working hard. So I just kind of want to put that out there that sometimes we get harsh on here, me most of all, I think, but I think it's all coming from a good place. I want to see these girls succeed. Remember, Idol is a tough business and it's cutthroat, and you're here today, gone today. Just look at, Yanamu's. I can't believe Reina's leaving. That group was the one solid group I never had to worry about, and now I have to worry about. And even our group, him already dipping out. Everybody's been like, "Oh my God, is she done?" She's not. But it just shows you this business is not an easy business. I know from experience. So anytime you can support the girls, you support them, but you also need to help them and guide them. And I think as an Idol fan, that would be my biggest recommendation this week. It's the biggest thing I learned on this tour I was just on. You got to really love this. You have to love Idol to really understand it. And you can't come at it from a Western perspective always. You have to really think about it from an Eastern perspective, and you have to think about what these girls go through, what the management goes through, what people like me go through, what we do here, what we go through. And you got to love it. Like Gino, look what Gino did. He loves Idol. I think he loves me too, but he loves Idol. And if he hadn't put it out there for Idol, there'd have been a lot of unhappy Idol fans, put it that way, and we would have been crushed. You gotta love what you do here. And I don't mean to get all preachy here. It's just I've had a rough week. It's been a very emotional week for me. And lately I've just been really feeling that the only reason I'm still here is because I love this world with all my heart. If I didn't, believe me, I'd been long gone. So love Idol. Show your love. Go out there and show them. Taipei, you got a group. Go. If you love Taipei, if you're from Taipei, if you are a Taiwanese individual who is yes, my own Idol group, you better damn well support these girls because I want to see this. We have waited how many years? 10 years for this. Taipei has been around forever in spirit and mythology. Finally, we get an actual MV. Saigon, Vietnam, a place that in history is not remembered very fondly for various reasons because of stuff that happened there. Now you got something. Of course, Vietnam is great on its own. It's your beautiful country. I'm not knocking the country at all. Not even a little bit. But my point is, it's in the idol sense, you actually are now part of the idol world. Punch. and I would say BNK, well, keep being on the honor roll. You're going to be valedictorian this year again.
All right.
And I would say, like, MNL, you know what you got to do. So love idol. That's
Let
my
us know in the
recommendation.
comments for this whole
Yes.
situation on all the subjects that we had in this pretty long show, I would say. So
It's super long.
no
I don't
worries.
shut up.
With that though, thank you for watching this week's episode of 48 Talk, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Jojo.
We're back. Love the close up.
That was good. That was good.
Bye.